Hey friends, welcome back to Training Wild Burros. If you're new here, I started this channel because I enjoy training and gentling wild Mustangs and burros and helping them find their forever home. I'm here to share with you my experiences. I've been asked to do a video about how to care for donkeys for things such as vet checks, teeth, feet, deworming, feed. So that's what this video is all about, to help you along the way for everybody who's in my boat, learning as you go. Now, I didn't grow up knowing how to do this. I've had animals or horses for the last 20 years or so. And when I got my first donkey, I didn't even want him. So Shamus, my first donkey, I've had him for 10 years. He came with a mule that my husband wanted. I didn't want this donkey. I didn't know what to do with it. And he wasn't trained at all yet. So I started learning the hard way. For a long time, I put off trying to learn this because I was afraid to mess up. And I've heard all the stereotypes that they're gonna be mean to you, they'll wait and get you back, or you can't force them to do things. I didn't know what to do and I didn't want to mess it up. So for a long time I waited, but I finally decided that I wanted to try. So now I have Shamus for the last 10 years. Shamus now can go packing, he can go in parades, carry flags, can go on trail rides, gymkhana, he can do everything now. He's not afraid of cattle. And so, because they can be a little bit different to train, especially donkeys, they get a bad rap and they can be a little bit tricky. I started to make videos so that the people who are getting them their forever homes would have a better chance for both the donkey and the new owner to really have a successful relationship with their donkey. Now, Shamus isn't perfect, but he is perfect for me. I love this donkey so much, you guys. Let's start with one of the biggest questions I get. What should I feed a donkey? Donkeys evolved to survive on really low quality forage. They're experts at gaining weight, but not just gaining weight off from almost nothing, especially compared to horses. That's why so many pet donkeys are overweight. Typically, a horse would eat 2% of its body weight and a donkey 1.5% of its body weight. But if your donkey is overweight, then you can decrease what they're eating to 1% of their body weight. Now here we have a donkey, a mammoth donkey, and a horse side by side. They weigh the same, but they need different amount of food, guys. When I first got Shamus, I just tried to eyeball it. My aunt told me you just adjust their feed based on if they're underweight or overweight. That was easier said than done for me, guys. Stormy even used to be a little bit overweight because he always got a little bit too much food. Now, Shamus came to me already overweight. Penny was also. Now, Penny had started to get those fat pockets on her sides, but during a hard ride for a long weekend, she lost those fat pockets and they never came back. So to help this, I started taking pictures of Shamus and trying to compare each year to see that we were making progress, and then getting him lots of exercise and trying to control what he was eating. I used to try to use tarps and stuff to weigh his hay, but I have found it's way better for me just to use a hay bag for a trailer, and I can use that to weigh his hay. It works really well. Now, what I learned better even later on was to start measuring him. So if I measure his heart girth, which is on top of his wither and then by his armpits, I can use that to show if I am doing good, if he's losing or gaining or staying the same. What I started to learn is to really pay attention and then to adjust his feed. In the wintertime, I think I'm going to start using straw so they can keep eating, because while they're eating and their body is digesting the food, they make heat. So in the wintertime, that's really handy. And we do get 35, 45 below zero here. Donkeys get fat in funny places. They can get a crusty neck that actually falls over, pads of fat on their shoulders and ribs. This weird rack of ribs looks across the top of their back. And once those fats are set in, they're really hard to undo. Ask me how I know. Shamus still has some. I'm still working on him, and he's like riding a couch because he's so fat. Right now, we're down to 15 animals, and they're mostly kept in dry lots, meaning there's no grass to graze. We just opened up a new 2.5 acre pasture, but the grass here in Montana is sparse. It's mostly for our younger donkeys and for the horses.
Look at you.
Too much grass
equals
so big. Too much sugar. And that can lead to laminitis, which is incredibly painful and causes permanent damage to their hoofs, or at least has the potential to. Another thing people ask a lot about is deworming. It used to be something I dreaded when I just had horses. They hated the taste. They didn't like to hold their heads still. With donkeys, I had to completely relearn how to approach this. I've learned to slow down, train for the experience, and make it easier on the animal and myself in the process. Keep watching for my blooper while I'm giving dewormer, and we're also going to talk about what to do if you see worms in the manure afterwards.
Okay.
So to prepare them, we're just going to give them oats while we're touching their face with this. Once they're comfortable with that, we'll give them oats while we put it in their mouth. Once they're comfortable with that, we will give them the dewormer. After we've given them the dewormer, we're going to do this again so that their last thought is not the dewormer going in their mouth. Yeah, that's good. That's a good girl. You've been dewormed.
Yay! Ah!
Yuck, pooey. She says it doesn't taste good. You gonna make good faces?
Bunch of spectators over here. What are you doing, Honk? There's Kip and LaFonda. The two unsuspected lovers.
Are you suspicious?
She says, I don't know about those oats. You stuck something into my oats a minute ago.
Right?
Go.
All right. In the spring, I like to use this fenbendazole dewormer. I deworm in the spring and in the fall. And then here you just spin this to get to the right weight. And Honky Donkey here is about 1,200 pounds. So she'll get the full tube. Now we don't want resistance doing this. My daughter Hannah was awesome enough to come up with a really cool idea. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna feed her oats while we rub this on her mouth. And she says she had dewormer and she doesn't like it. So if all you can do is have it way over here, that's okay. We'll ease into having it actually go into her mouth before she's getting the dewormer. Don't just start this on the day. This is something we want to do on a regular basis. She was just sick, so she had all kinds of tubes of medicine in her mouth. Hi. See how quickly she responds? That's why we don't want to just do it once, give them the dewormer and be done. We want to keep doing this so that they're okay with it. There, that's better. You see here, she's still getting better from her IVs and stuff. She's still growing back fur.
Yeah, she was coliking.
Well, it was 35 below zero.
Yeah, no bueno.
Fur. There you go. Good girl. Remember, they learn on the release of pressure.
Do you want me to pause it?
You can, yeah. Well.
So, my mom and I, we have this handy dandy trick where you take a bunch of oats when you're going to deworm, and you oat them, and while you're oating them, you stick the dewormer tube in their mouth, and then by the time it's time to give them the wormer, they're used to having the tube in their mouth. Well, she just went to do that, and guess what happened? All right, whenever you're ready.
All right, go ahead. All right, so we've been doing this for about 5 minutes, getting it into her mouth. Oh! Don't squirt yourself!
Oh, do you want a new one?
No, that's funny.
Oh, God, Mom. Oh.
Now, friends, I've had horses, mules, and donkeys for over 20 years now, and this was the first year I ever saw any worms in their manure. If this does happen to you, reach out to your vet. After a handful of weeks, you will do a stool sample, bring it to your vet, and they will look at it under a microscope, and that way you can decide what to do next. What you have to be careful of is if you give them too much dewormer or too often, they can become immune to it, and we don't want that. Training for handling like deworming, vet checks, hoof cleaning makes it easier on everyone. So after you deworm, keep an eye on the manure. If you see those worms in it, it means your dewormer is working. But it also means that your donkey or horse or mule is carrying more worms than you thought. Talk to your vet and make sure your deworming schedule is based on your donkey's actual needs, not just a guess. Donkeys need regular dental checks just like horses and people. Sharp points can cause ulcers in their mouth, and they won't often show pain until it's really, really bad. I recommend a dental check every year or two, depending on your vet's advice. Farrier visits every 6 to 10 weeks. Even if they're not doing much work, overgrown hooves can cause pain and even lameness. If you are trimming rescues or wild burros, it takes time to trust, but it's worth it. Let's talk about companionship. I used to think, well, Shamus had a mule friend. Then later he bonded with my old horse, Danny Boy. So I figured donkeys could bond with anything, and sometimes they do. But after bringing home 23 donkeys over the last 2 years, wild, domestic, and rescued, my view has changed. Donkeys do best with another donkey. Sure, there are exceptions, but I'd say 90 to 95% of the time, they thrive when they have a friend who speaks their language. If you're getting a donkey, consider getting 2. It changes their mental health completely. And just like horses, I introduce donkeys to each other gradually. They don't always get along, or at least they don't always get along right away. One of the biggest things I've learned, change has to be slow. If a donkey is underweight, it takes months to build them back up safely. If they're overweight, you won't fix it in a week. Their systems are delicate. Feed too rich, they get sick. Not enough minerals, they struggle to put on healthy weight. No exercise or mental stimulation, they get depressed. That's why caring for donkeys isn't just about food or feed. It's about seeing the whole animal. When I started this channel, it was because I didn't want other people to feel as lost as I did with Shamus. Donkeys are misunderstood. And if we can train them right and care for them well, we can help more of them get adopted into loving homes that can actually understand them. I make approximately 2 videos a week, one for everyone, fun stories, bloopers, behind the scenes, one for owners and trainers, real hands-on guidance. If you want to support what I'm doing, you can become a member and get exclusive updates, behind the scenes content. It helps me keep going, and it helps more donkeys get the life they deserve. Thank you so much for watching and caring about donkeys. If you've got questions, stories, or just want to say hi, drop a comment. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and give your donkey a scratch from me. See you next time.